Cards by Kate Fletcher. Today I want to start a new monthly feature on the channel and it has been inspired by Creative Stamping magazine. So I subscribe to this magazine. I'm not linked to them in any way. I'm not an associate or anything like that. I just love this magazine and this month's issue has inspired this feature, so I will hopefully be putting up at least one video every single month involving the magazine. Some months there may be more, but I'm going to start it today. So this is issue number 84, and this month it came with this stamp set, which is the Best of British stamp set, and it's absolutely stunning. It is, as the title says, very, very British. It's got some medals here which would have been great for the birthday card for Colonel Tom, but didn't quite come out in time. But you can see you've got phone boxes, bulldogs, you've got the crown jewels, the bus. It's just a brilliant stamp set. Now I've already made one card off the back of this stamp set, which was the Retiform card that I showed in the latest Project Share Sunday video, and I also shared that to Craft Stash chat and it's gone down really well, so that was really nice. Now the other thing that came with the magazine this month was the Best of British Union flag background stencil, which I haven't actually used yet, but I will do at some point. So there are some really nice features in here this month. I'm just gonna flick through and see if I can find any of them really quick. So the first feature, or one of the features that I was really excited to see, was this double spread with Claire Rowlands of Daisy Made Signs. As you know, if you're a regular on the channel, you will know how much I love her and her stamps. So there is a really nice colouring article in here this month that she has done. But then there are just some really lovely techniques in this month's issue, some of which I want to try, which is what has inspired this video, because I thought, well, if I'm going to try them, I could film it and see how easy some of them are to do. Now there is a technique in here that I've already tried, which I didn't actually film. Just trying to find it to show you. And it sort of worked the way I did it, but I didn't have the same stamps as they used, obviously. And I used some horse stamps from Inky Dinky Doo. So this is the technique I've already tried. It sort of worked. I think if I could use some layering flowers it would probably work better, but I've tried that one already. So the technique I want to try today is this one here. And it's kind of like a bokeh technique, which again, if you're regular to the channel, you will have seen I've done one like that before, but it's not bokeh. So it's going to involve inking a load of circles, a bit of die cutting, and then enamel dots. So I'm going to try and follow this, and I thought I would film as I go to see how easy it is really. So I have pre-prepped some of this already. Now I don't have any circle stencils, and you can cut these out of acetate, but I've chosen to use up scraps of cardstock. I already had a stencil that I'd made using cardstock, but could I find it? Don't be silly, of course I didn't. So I have cut 4 different circles. So I've used the 3 that come with the Sizzix Big Shot, and then I've just used a round circle die from my stash, which is slightly larger. Then I have kept out 2 of those die cuts because I need to stamp onto these and then colour using inks. So I'm going to keep those to one side. I'm working on my blending mat for today's video, in case anyone was wondering what this is. And then in the magazine, it says that you should use a white 14.5cm square card blank, and then it also says white and black cardstock. I've done my own thing with this, so I'm using cream pre-folded card blank, but can you see they are slightly textured? Now these, believe it or not, were bought for my wedding invitations 2-3 years ago now. I did the invitations and I had some over, so I thought, you know, I need to use them, and these are really, really pretty, so I'm using that. Then I've cut a piece of purple or lilac cardstock, slightly smaller than the card blank, and then I'm using cream. Now this is like copy paper, but it's 160 GSM, and I really, really like this for ink blending and colouring on. It works really nice and it's really smooth, so that is what it will look like when it's done. And this is what I'm going to be working on first of all. So normally when I do this technique, or when I do the Bokeh technique, I use my like, you know, the Ranger tools, but I thought today I would try using one of the makeup brushes just to see kind of how it goes. So let's have a look. In the magazine it says to use cracked pistachio, spun sugar, worn lipstick. I actually do have all those, so let's put that back. We'll follow the colours they recommend. So that's cracked pistachio, worn lipstick is that one, and what other one was it? Spun sugar. Let's have a look. I know I've got that one. There we go. Right. So now the first thing we have to do is build up a background using the stencil, basically. Vary the sizes of the circles and overlap them to create different shapes and layers. Right, let's do that. So hopefully this is all going to be in shot. I'm really sorry there is going to be some wobbling around. So I'm going to oh, that's not working too good, is it? I might speed the camera up for this bit just to reduce the amount of wobble you guys are getting. So I'll continue to film, but I'm going to speed it up for you. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave that bit there. I don't think the colours have come out exactly as they did in the magazine, but I am using a cream cardstock. That might be affecting it a bit. I do clean my brushes, but I guess there could have been residue ink left over. And this sponge sugar, well, I'm wondering whether I've dropped them at some point and put the wrong lid on the wrong ink, because that definitely looks brown instead of like a purpley pink. Anyway, the next bit says to stamp the telephone and a sentiment on white cardstock, die cut them into circles and colour them using distress inks. So I use these bits. Let's put that aside for a second. I think I'm going to try the warm lipstick and the cracked pistachio to colour them in. And it also says, when inking the circles, apply more ink at the edges. Leave the colour lighter towards the centre, because that gives a more dimensional look, like bubbles. So I think for this bit I'm going to bring my stamp platform in, just to be sure, to get if I need to re-stamp for any reason. Now, I know in previous videos I've said I don't like the smell of the stays on ink, but I'm going to use it for two reasons. A, I've bought it, so I'm blooming well going to keep using it. And B, I like the way it covers. Even though I don't like the smell, I like the result you get from it. So I'm going to use that. So let's grab the stamps. So I'm going to use the telephone and the hello like they have in the magazine. So let's stamp the telephone first. Might go a little bit off that circle, but we'll see. Just put these here. I do make sure that I keep the stays on covered with this plastic lid thing when I'm not using it as well. I'm just trying to stand slightly away from it, so hopefully it doesn't smell so bad, but that kind of didn't work. I could still smell it. It really, honestly, it smells like marzipan. Oh, it's disgusting. I suppose stays on's very Marmite, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it. I like the results, I don't like the smell. But it does dry quick as well, so for every negative, I guess there's a positive. See, look, how can you not like the coverage? I don't think I've used that phone stamp before. And look, perfect. So let's put that to one side. And we'll do the hello in the smaller circle. What did I do with it? Oh, it's there, look. So I've been looking at stamp platforms online, and I'm kind of now torn between the Hampton Arts one and the, is it Crafts 2, Pressed to Impress or something? Can't choose between them. I really can't. So if anyone's got either of those two, I would be really interested to hear views on those, but only those two. Oh, that stinks. Right. I do like this precision press. This is the We Are Precision Press by We Are Memory Keepers, or whatever they're called. It has been good, but I just want the next step up now, really. I think I'm ready for a new one. I'll keep this one. I wouldn't ever just get rid of it, but I want one with foam and magnets now. Right, let's do the phone in pink. Yeah, so I just can't choose between them. But I've got a voucher for Craft Stash, which expires, I think, in June, and I can get the Crafts 2 one from them and use my voucher, which is great. But then I just keep looking at the Hampton Art one, but I want the 10-inch one if I get the Hampton Art one. But then I keep hearing about how Hochanda had Hampton Art on, and for the price of the Crafts 2 one on Hochanda a little while ago, you actually got 2 Hampton Art ones. So unless I've got the wrong end of the stick and that's not actually what happened. So yeah, I just want to make my money go as far as I can because, well, let's face it, I don't have much of it at the moment. So I want to get the best deal I can and the best stamping platform that I can. So it's tricky. It is tricky. So, and also, if anyone saw that Hochanda show, did I get it wrong? Did they not do 2 Hampton Art ones for £20? Or did I actually get that right and you did get 2 Hampton Art ones? I can't find the show on Catch Up to watch it back. And equally, they don't seem to have a show. I keep checking the live schedule. They don't seem to have a show anytime soon. So, right, let's leave that one there. Let's do the hello. Right, we'll do the hello in the Cracks Pistachio. Let's see if there's a difference on the white to the cream with this colour. Not really, it's still looking dirty. It's not looking like the lid colour at all. I'm wondering whether I've dropped this one as well and just put the wrong lid back on. Oh look, that's starting to come a bit greener. And I did clean this on a microfiber cloth before I started colouring, because I do like microfiber cloths for cleaning these brushes and for cleaning off stamps. It has to be said, I think they work really nicely. This isn't looking a nice light colour. This looks a lot darker. I know I have dropped the inks a few times and the lids have all gone flying off, so it's possible, I guess, that I have just gone, oh, that's green, and whacked the lid on the wrong one. Accidents happen. Maybe I need to like swatch all the colours and try and work out what's going on. I'm not liking this dirty green though, I have to say. I was expecting it to be like that, because in the magazine it's like that and on the lid it's like that, so clearly one of the other greens is going to be a lot darker or lighter even than the lid. I will do that when I've got more time. I'll have to swatch them all and find out what on earth I have done wrong when I've put lids back on. Oh well, these things are sent to try us, aren't they? I have to say it was easier to add the colour just around the edges on the bigger die than it is on this one. And it would have probably been easier had I used one of the range of brushes, because they're really good at doing the flicky motion, whereas these brushes, they're not so good, I don't think. Oh well, this was just an experiment anyway. So, are you enjoying this little feature? Would you be interested in seeing it like once a month or a couple of times a month if something really takes my fancy in the magazine? Don't have to copy it, just to see how easy it is to follow along the tutorials, and also just to try something new, because I think sometimes it's nice just to try new techniques and stuff. And they are really good for tutorials in Creative Stamping magazine. There's always easy to follow steps. I guess we're finding out how easy. That looks awful, I don't like that. Well, it's done now. But that looks really dark and dingy, doesn't it? Well, I think it does. Oh well. Alright, let's just have a really quick tidy up. We will move on with the video. Just clean the mat off a bit. Okay, so now let's have a look. We need to layer the die cut elements on the stenciled background using 3D foam pads for added dimension, and then add a few enamel dots to finish. So where should we put these? I think the hello can go over there because I sort of ripped the paper a little bit when I was taking one of the masking tape things off, and the hello or the phone, that can probably go over here. Or should I put it there or there? Oh, I don't know now. Maybe I'll kind of put it there so it's over a few. Right, grab these. And I'm going to put a couple of the foam pads on because I don't need it to be a stopper for anything. I'm really not happy with the colour of that hello either. If I redo this card, definitely not using that Cracks Pistachio until I've worked out where the proper Cracks Pistachio is. So that kind of is more a mossy green than anything else, if I'm honest. There you go, these things are sent to try us. Right, enamel dots. Let's find some enamel dots and get rid of these bits. So the enamel dots I've grabbed are Cottage Garden, the Craft Consortium and Hell's Couple Ditch ones. And the reason I grabbed those is because I really like this pink. So I want to use a couple of those on here. And the green is kind of like the kind of green I think we were wanting to try and get. It just hasn't come out great, so just use a few of those. It's supposed to work in odd numbers, so that's 3. Do we need any more? I suppose we could do 5. I probably don't want a green there because we've got a green there. Just peel that up. Where should we put that one? Maybe, I don't know, maybe we could put that one there. And then we'll put another nice pink one down here. Right. So I'm now going to pause the camera, stick all this together and onto the front of the card, and then I'll turn it back on and show you what it looks like all finished. So this is the finished card. It's not the best card I've ever made, but it's passable, I think. Not 100% happy with that green, I have to say, but live and learn. So this is what the card in the magazine looked like, and then that's mine. I think they were never going to look identical because they've used white and black. I've used cream and purple, but it's not a million miles away. I think you can see that it is my take on what they've done. I think it's quite pretty. So that is my first video of following a tutorial from Creative Stamping Magazine. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will be back soon with more videos. There is another tutorial in the magazine that I want to try this month, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye for now.